Well, it's a summer Sunday and I'm under.
Oh, it is so nice to be on a holiday, just to get away from YouTube for a bit, and oh no, I brought the keys from the Thom-Cast studio with me. It probably doesn't matter, it's not like we record episodes anymore anyway.
Dad, for crying out loud. Why did George take the keys with him? I mean, hate having to break into the damn studio. Oh well, time to record.
Mayoorhan, we've been expecting you.
Jesus Christ! How did you get it? Who? Haydn? Matt?
Yeah.
Stuart, what are you doing here?
Yo,
Well, I never left.
I got off at the wrong bus stop.
and I'm always.
We found a body on the floor. It had a VIP lanyard on. We just put him in the cupboard to keep him warm.
He was
We
rather
think it might have
cold.
been vegan, but we're not sure.
We didn't kill him.
Right. You guys clean the studio. I'll set the recording stuff up. Oh my god, I can't believe it's Thom-Cast! Hi, everyone. We're back. Well, a third of us is back. It's just me this time around. But, boy, do we have a jam-packed show for you. And, to start off, we're going to introduce our first guest for the podcast, Stuart, creator of such original YouTube series as Auld Lang Syne, and that's about it.
Hey?
Say hi.
Oh, hi. I thought it might have been more dramatic if I'd lost all my limbs, but that might be taken offensively. Okay. Oh, I'm doing great, Mayo. How are you doing?
That's good, and I'm tired because I have to record and edit this damned thing. But yes, Auld Lang Syne, the reason why you are here. And a relatively young series. You are only 3 episodes in, and you've been around since 2016. So, why did you make Auld Lang Syne instead of, say, a Thomas series? Because I think that's what most people are thinking of.
Well, you see, the thing is that back in my old days of being old, I used to make Doctor Who videos, and it was all well and good, but I wanted a little bit more creative freedom. So I went, what can I do? And then I was introduced, again, to Thomas the Tank Engine by this annoying Northern guy, who I shall not name.
So, you know, like what would you say was your development phase for Auld Lang Syne? Because, like, you know, it's not easy creating a series from scratch. We've learnt that from many other YouTubers, such as Haydn, who was a guest here for episode 5.
Yeah, but he's not here now, though, is it? Oh, he is.
Spoilers.
Oh, he isn't.
But yes, so like, what did you do to sort of make Auld Lang Syne its own thing, and, like, you know, different but familiar?
Well, what I did was I got onto the phone to my agent, who's you, and I said, I need you to do all the work for me, and I'll just make the episodes.
That's not how it happened. I think what you need to do, you need to be honest and explain to the lovely viewers and gentlemen that Auld Lang Syne wasn't always Auld Lang Syne.
No.
You've had quite a complex history, haven't you?
Well, it was during the war.
Story time, Stuart. Come on, fess up.
Okay. So, I'll be honest. Sort of. Auld Lang Syne wasn't always called Auld Lang Syne.
What was
It was
once
called 64B Haymarket.
You mean it was named after the location, what it was set in, like?
Yeah.
Oh boy, gee. And what time period? I'm making these questions on because I already know the answer, but I don't think the viewers know. What time period was 64B set in?
Now, despite its BR shed code name thing at the front, it was really just there because of it looked kind of cool as a logo. And it's really merchandisable. Sadly, Auld Lang Syne isn't. Anyway, it was initially set in 1917.
Then
1929.
And then...
1930.
And that's where it is now?
Nope.
Oh, what happened?
I moved it forward a year. It's
Ah.
1931. Damn,
Ah.
I've given away all my secrets.
Oh, well. Don't think people really care that you're giving away your secrets. It's fine.
I don't.
But yeah, I mean, like, I think the weird thing is, like, I was kind of there for Old Lang Syne's development. I sort of turned up a bit, then left, and then came back again.
That's
I mean, like,
that's a short way of putting it.
it's...
The more detailed version would be...
Well, let's put it like this. You viewers probably just see it as just a thing that existed. They wrote episodes and then they made it. But there, Old Lang Syne, prior to its release, has had quite the development hell, I'd say.
Oh.
Well, not hell.
Oh,
but...
yeah, no. Hell is a very good word. It's not quite strong enough, but it's a very good word.
But it wasn't easy making it, was it?
No, it went through many guises. In fact, before it was 64B Haymarket, it was something else. Now, just viewers, humour me and get my view count up and tell all your friends that I exist because of I need the money. And just have a quick look at what Old Lang Syne looks like now. Okay, now you've done that. Old Lang Syne started off as a series set on the Great Western Railway.
You mean the other side of the country?
Yep.
Oh boy, gee, that's
in a
far away,
diagonal
man.
line. Yeah. Then it was set at a colliery. That was very small. And then, the original group, because we actually started off as a group of friends making it, and now we're a group of friends making it.
Different group of friends.
A slightly different group of friends. Conflict. Cornflakes.
Story.
Yeah, and then we kind of drifted apart. People had their other things to do. And one day I came across this picture of a North British Railway pug. And it was in this place called Dunfermline. And it didn't have any side rods. It was sort of left on a siding. And I thought, well, that kind of looks interesting. So I did a bit of research. And then I came up with a series that I was just going to do by myself. Which would have had a J36 called Joffre. I don't know how to pronounce it. French isn't my forte.
You don't know how to pronounce the name of a character you created.
Yeah, which is kind of why it isn't set in Dunfermline. Then there was, funnily enough, Dugald, a tank engine, and there was another one which was probably another tender engine, I think Glenn Douglas or something. And then, it was then it sort of tweeted me that when I was a young'un, I used to go to this place called the Bowness and Canoe Railway. Donate money now. And they had this engine running called Maud. And I was like, that's also a J36. Where was Maud based? So did a bit of digging around, found out it was this place called Haymarket. So then I started looking into that. And it just sort of went it sort of spiraled from there, really. Maud became like the core character. Then there was Holmes, who'd be a sort of slightly annoying friend who didn't have a character.
Oh wait, no, this is before I was like, that's not his character. He's not been
Holmes
written like
didn't
that.
have a character.
Continue.
And arguably in episode 1 he didn't either.
This is still before I even joined the team. Oh,
yeah,
God.
this is a couple of years ago now, possibly. Yeah, late 2014 maybe or something. Mm-hmm. And then I told the other people in the group, and they were like, "Hey, that's pretty good." So we just started working on it. It did start off as a very Thomas-inspired thing. I grew up with it, and that's all I knew. And it was kind of horrible. It was a horrible budget Thomas series with no charm. Right. Arguably what it is today. And then, oh God, I wish it wasn't here. But then a certain person posted a certain episode of a certain series on Twitter, and I went, "Oh, that's a really good series." So it is possible to make something that isn't just a knockoff. So then, a little bit more effort was, put into it, and it became roughly what it is today.
And I think like what really works about Old Lang Syne is that it is quite normal, but it's weird in the very small details. And so like it is very like deliberately normal setting, normal history, but then the characters are just dialed up to 11. And they're just like Maud's an exaggeration of his sort of archetypal character, Cedric's an exaggeration of his. And I think that's like this weird sort of wonderment you can have when you have like these extremes of characters, but in such a normal setting.
Yeah. Originally it was very, very serious. Cedric, is actually a very late character into it. George, who is sadly absent, is
He's on holiday in the some beach somewhere.
Bournemouth in the Bahamas on sea. He just said to me one day, "Wouldn't it be funny if there was one of those little sentinel things going around?" I was like, "Yeah, it would be." Click. By the way, I've just bought one. And I think if it wasn't for that stupid comment from him, then Auld Lang Syne probably wouldn't have actually made it to the screens, because of Cedric is sort of the focus in a way.
Yeah.
Start with him, you see a lot of his journey. If I say a lot of his journey, there's only 3 episodes so far.
You see him grow as a character. And
Yep.
yeah, it's just quite a fun little series that you are putting a lot of effort into, and I think a lot more people need to check out. This fandom, big though it may be, doesn't revolve entirely around Thomas. There are a lot of great content that don't have the little blue tank engine in it, so keep that in mind. So moving swiftly on, this is something we do with all of our guests, all our new guests, first-time guests.
Oh, no.
Yeah, you know what's happening.
I haven't prepared for this.
Well, tough shit. Oh, it's the first swear word of the podcast.
Yeah, and I thought it was going to come from me. I've been trying very hard.
Oh, well, that's your fault, isn't it? I thought I was going to swear it again, and I thought, nah, that's a bit much. So, next section is the other railway, where we banish our guests to the other railway and then see what sort of Thomas-related items they would take there with them. So, Stuart, by the High Court of Sudbury and the Fray, you are hereby banished to the other railway.
Typical. See, set up shop there, try and be nice, and they kick you out just for one case of indecent exposure.
So what's it like on the other railway right now?
It's a bit smelly.
Oh.
A lot of dodgy characters going around. There's a signalman who's just... No, if this kid's listening, I can't describe what he's just done. But there was rope involved, and the rope was around his neck.
Well, okay, that got off very quickly. Well, you know what? You're stuck there. You're going to have to take a few Thomas-related items to help you survive. So let's go through and see what you take with you to the other railway. The first, one classic series episode, so from series 1 to 7.
Ooh. Well, do you know what? In the spirit of the season, Duncan gets spooked. I'll go with that.
Yeah, fair enough.
I think it's one that I really liked in my childhood years. I think it's got quite nice atmosphere. It isn't. I don't think it's the best episode. I don't know what is the best episode. I haven't seen them in quite a while. But I think it's a nice one, especially the Alec Baldwin narration. Hidden gem.
So you to comfort you on the other railway, you're going to take a classic episode deliberately designed to scare you. One sort of, well, let's just say the meh series episode. So from series 8 to 16.
Okay. This is where I have to confess that I've not seen much, and I
But you
tried to
have seen
get.
stuff.
Yeah, I've been shown some horrible things. Do you know what? What's the one where Whiff is introduced? Because I'd take that one. The Michael Brandon narration.
Okay.
Is yet again
I'll be
the
honest,
US, you lucky guys and girls and
as a
others.
horrible Thomas fan, I can't remember the name of that episode either. So someone will remind us.
It's just so I can loop the one bit where he goes garbage.
So yes, that one with episode. Up next, the modern classic. So now that we're like at least 3 seasons into like sort of the new era of episodes, I think it deserves its own section now. So series 17 plus, which episode would you take there? From there?
Okay, it's a new one, and that's probably why I kind of like it. But I'd go with Love Me Tender because I really enjoyed that one.
Fair
I thought
enough.
it was nice to see the Caledonian or Scottish twins or whatever they are.
Cali
The,
scum.
yeah, the Cali scumbag. I mean, yeah, they are Caledonian, but it doesn't mean to say that we have to throw rocks. Actually, it does, but it doesn't mean to say that we can't. Well, we can't really respect them. It doesn't mean to say that we can't enjoy an episode with them in, especially when it involves in one of them being, wrecked. But I think it's nice how the two have very distinguishable personalities now. And I like the music as well.
Fair
I'm not a
enough.
great reviewer. I don't review stuff. I just go, oh look, it's pretty.
Well, you'll
Or oh
be
look, it's a word that rhymes with pretty but describes something bad.
okay then.
Things like
Next up, one railway series book. So any of the many railway series books that exist.
okay, right. This one I can do. Although I might have to look up the name. Give me a moment as I think really hard.
Okay, stall by describing it.
Well, it's the one which has a lot of nice things in it. I think it's quite a nice book. Very Old Engines. That's the one.
Ah, right, the one that has the oh so classic character Squarey McSquareface.
Excuse
Even
me.
though he
It's
is a
called
box.
Neil.
Neil, okay.
My favourite Railway series character, and also the easiest one to draw.
Send your Neil fan art to us at Thom-Cast1@gmail.com.
And after this, we'll have Neil Hour, where you can see some
Oh
interesting
shit!
pictures drawn by
People
me.
are actually going to send art now. That's what's worrying
Oh, I know
me.
I am.
Oh, for fuck's sake. One song. So this is like a song with lyrics. Which one would you take?
Oh, I've not heard those in years. Wait, okay, what ones do I remember? Oh, do you know what? I'm gonna go with the Percy one, the seaside. The
Percy
one.
Seaside Holiday. Good choice
Yes.
there.
It's the only reason why I remember it is because it's quite catchy. Despite the fact I've not heard it
have
for
a lovely
like
day.
10.
Um,
And then there's
one.
that Percy thing. Ooh.
The creepy. Someone actually
Yeah.
managed to make that theme creepy, and to them I say, good
Evil.
show, sir.
Evil.
One Thomas movie. So from any of the specials, any of them, well, any of the one movie that exists, which would you take?
Do I get extra points for a really bad movie?
No, you
Okay,
don't get
no.
points. There's no points in the game.
There's no points?
There's no points.
Even points that don't mean anything?
Even points that don't mean anything.
What am I doing here?
I don't know.
Well, in that case, I'm going to go with Slottelt or Sodor's Legend of the Lost Treasure or whatever it is, because that was nice. I'm generic. I like the stuff that people like.
Fair enough. It's my favorite special outside of The Adventure Begins, but The Adventure Begins also has the advantage of being an adaptation of one of the Rev's books.
Yeah,
So-
I just like Slottelt a little bit more because John Hurt's in it, and last time I saw John Hurt in something, it was very disappointing. and the year was 2013, and it also had David Tennant in it.
Oh, right. Some New Who fans are going to be typing very angry comments in the section below.
Now, do you know what? They
Moving
can jump
swiftly on
into it.
before you make any more enemies. One piece of Thomas-themed merchandise. So, toys, DVD... no, not DVDs. Card games. Anything.
Right. If this was a Doctor Who podcast, I'd say the Tom Baker underpants. Are there Thomas underpants? Of course there are.
Yeah.
But then you want to know which specific ones.
No, we don't. I think that's...
That's okay, I'm sure the wiki has a list. Oh,
the sad thing is someone probably is either thinking of or probably has already made a list of that on the wiki.
I don't know if I want to type it in because it's not the kind of thing you would... No, do you know what?
Yeah,
It shall remain a mystery.
Next section and the last section, one character. Who would you take with you?
Ooh, so many choices.
Big
So many.
franchise.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I wish I could take them all. But at the end of the day, you know, what has good weather protection? What can go really fast? What is slick and cool and stuff?
Philip!
No, Neil. I
Seriously?
would take Neil because we know nothing about him, and you know, I'd be like, "All right, how are you?" He'd be like, like, I speak your lingo.
What if he had the personality of our Neil?
I'd find the nearest river, and I would push him into it, and just to make sure that he never got out, I would find a cement mixer and fill in the river.
And on that delightful note, we're bringing you back from the other railway and onto the next section of the podcast. Ooh, this is exciting, isn't it?
What's the next part?
Next part is where we add more people to the call.
Not them. This is going to be like one of those...
I've been brought back from the dead, but not actually the dead because I was just sleeping in the post office of, like, Thom-Cast HQ.
Oh, look.
I really
The
wish they put
dandy
air
and the
holes in
clown.
body bags.
Greetings, chaps. You've been in this studio before, haven't you?
Yeah.
So,
Redecorated. I don't like
This
it.
is not our first rodeo, I believe is the phrase.
so for those not in the know, and how dare you for not listening to the other podcasts, Matt, supreme voice actor of the fandom, was our guest on episode 3 and relayed to us the tale of George's Backman James. And Haydn is the known general messer-abouter of the fandom, and he was our guest on episode 5 and animated Matt's retelling of George's events with the Backman James. So,
Say, Haydn, aren't you Brigadier Messer-abouter now?
No, they won't promote me.
Oh.
They say it has something to do with the huge scandal that went down, the half-baked gate.
well,
These are the jokes, guys! This is the top quality material.
well,
Okay, you're upstaging me
and
now.
the reason
Stop.
and the reason why these two have joined us is because they, like me, voiced the other two of the main trio in Old Lang Syne.
Yeah,
So,
I'm the annoying one. Hey.
Yeah, Matt
I
voices
played-
Cedric, Hayden
I
voices
played-
Maud, and I
I'm the
voice
drunk one.
Hones. But we're not going to talk about Old Lang Syne for a wee while now, because
Okay.
we're going to go to the main, big, impressive talking point of our podcast, and that is our thoughts on the Great Race, before moving on to our thoughts on Series 20 so far. So, in a sentence, describe what you think of the Great Race. Hayden.
Oh, geez. Hold on. Let me. I prepared something for this.
I did as well.
But did you hear about the train that got lost on the main railway today? It was tragic because like the signalman and I am stalling for time, but I am trying to find where I put this is organised.
Do you want me to go first?
Yes.
All right.
Thank you for
My
taking
thoughts on the Great Race. Nice music, shame about the moral.
Okay. It's not really much of a sentence.
I could go more in depth, but
We will.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
good.
Okay, well, I did mine in around 10 words. We did a fun little exercise the other day, trying to figure
Yeah,
out
I
how
was
we'd
there
sum
as
it up
well.
in. Yeah, that's why I said we. Come on. And I summed it up as confused moral, great visuals. The great race was okay.
I don't
And
think mine's
Stuart,
appropriate. I don't think mine's appropriate.
I'll go for it.
say it.
It won't hurt.
Sex, speed, and serendipity. What more could you want, mate? I had to put mate in to get up to 10 words.
Okay then. And my verdict is very simply fun but flawed. Because the Great Race isn't a bad special by any stretch of the imagination. But it's quite empty. Would you agree?
Mm.
Like
Especially
it's
when
missing
you-
a lot of things that could push it over the border. So I'm gonna go through various sections and everyone just gives their thoughts and we have a bit of a discussion on it. So, first bit, the story. Story thoughts now, go, quick.
Right, okay.
It's all right as far as stories for the Thomas specials go.
It feels very full. Like there is a lot going on in it,
Yeah.
but at the same time, that is also it's a positive and a negative. Given that, like, yes, so much stuff, but also it's all fighting for attention in the
Yeah.
special.
Like I think it's like Slaughter also had this problem, but it to a lesser extent. I feel like they just kept cramming more and more things with the Great Race.
Hmm.
And like
I would honestly say this is probably one of the Thomas specials that tries to do quite too much with its story.
yeah. Like I think
it had
it
lot of
really could have
subplots.
benefited from a longer runtime.
It almost feels
yeah.
like they played a lot of their cards in one go. So like each individual part could have been a high point of its own individual special. So like the bridge jump and the like railway Olympics and the international engines and the streamlining of Gordon. Each bit is strong, and it feels like they've like taken all of that and crammed it into one special. Whereas that there's at least 4 specials worth of stuff in the Great
Yeah.
Race.
I mean, like I guess the thing I like is that genre-wise, I like how they're trying more new things with the specials and sort of going more out there. So, like I said this before, but I like how Slotted plays it more like an action adventure sort of film, whereas like Great Race plays it more like a sort of a musical comedy in many respects. I like that, but at the same time, I feel like they've sort of taken off bitten off more than they can chew with like sort of getting all these characters in, getting the story together, having like all the big set pieces line up, and it does get quite messy, especially towards the end. Stuart, anything
on.
to add?
What are we talking about again? Oh, the Great Race. Yes, I agree with all the things that you've said.
You weren't listening to us there.
I wasn't.
Did you fall asleep?
A little bit, a little bit, quite a bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that a thing about the special itself that it bored you to sleep?
Well, like story-wise, it's all right. It's not perfect, but I don't think it's terrible.
Mm-hmm.
See, this is why I don't do reviews because I know what I mean, but I can't put them into words.
That's fair enough. That's why I've divided it into sections to make it easier for all of us.
Okay,
Yeah.
do I still get points?
No, there's no points. It's a review, Stuart. Moving on.
Oh my god.
There are no points. Anyway, moving on. Like the characters. So these are like the main-ish, just the characters in general. Like how you think the special utilized its main players.
I liked how Stanley was used. Stanley was very imperative to the story.
Mm.
I like his new voice. You know, the pinched nose voice is really flattering for his face.
Do you want to hear my impression?
Yeah, go Stuart.
Oh, go for it, Stuart. Go on.
Please don't I beg you. That's for the UK dub, by the way. You can use that in
Well,
the videos.
We'll have to edit that in somehow. The really about the characters, I think they were all okay. They all kind of served their purpose right, I guess.
Yeah.
Like I've gone on record of saying like Annie and Clarabelle are probably the best characters in the special, simply because they get the like snappiest lines. And like that's the problem with like what we were saying just then. The special has so much stuff in it that none of the new characters really make much of an impact, and most of them are there just to bolster up the ranks, which is fine. It's fine because it's Olympics or whatever. But like even characters like the Flying Scotsman or like Ashima are kind of nebulous in some ways. Like, oh, go on, Stuart.
I was about to say, Nebulous, great series.
You plugging something that's got nothing to do with Thomas on a Thomas podcast.
Yes, I am.
How standards have dropped these days that I'm not talking about the steam engine class.
By the way, while you're at that, also check out Doctor Strange. I hear it's very good.
Oh my god.
And
I haven't
Harry
even
Potter,
seen
that's
it.
essential.
I've been paid off by Marvel.
Disney pays off all its critics. Clearly, because that's clearly how the entertainment industry works. That's a rant for another day.
Yeah, right. Ghostbusters.
We've all done it.
Yes. But like, I think the thing with the characters is that like, I feel like they sort of get it, but they don't show it. Like when you're watching it, you get a sense that the writers really understand their characters, but they don't like really show. It's like Stuart doing reviews. He knows what he wants to say, but he can't say it. Andrew Brennan knows how to write Thomas. He knows how to write Gordon, but he doesn't really write them in The Great Race. If that makes sense. So like he sort of Thomas trying to like go to the Great Race and do his own thing. That's very Thomasy, but that doesn't really come across well in the actual film. Much like how Gordon, his sort of thing with like being like boastful and then like insecure about the streamlining and like all that. That's very Gordon, but it just doesn't feel like it when you're watching it, and it's like it's good, but it's not. It just needs more of a punch. The next section, the music, the
nice.
background score music and the songs. So fire away.
Wow. They were full of surprises.
We are
I
not
ought to say,
doing
okay.
a musical rendition
Oh.
now.
But
You
I
always
got
ruin
such
this
great
for us.
lines in the musical review. Some would probably say the songs are a bit okay, but I think they are quite cool, but they are not never overlook a little engine.
Brings
Oh,
back
oh.
to play. Do.
What's that? Is that right? We're about to do an Irish drinking song?
No, we're
About
not.
big
Oh,
race?
we are not.
no,
we're not.
no.
We're not.
Oh, why did
Shut
I
up,
do that?
shut up.
Oh, stop!
Stop. Before you invert
No
the
more.
space-time continuum.
Oh, that's a good point. I'll stop.
But yeah, I don't think Chris Renshaw is like sufficient as a musical composer.
I'm
But
going
he's
to.
not. He's not the Hartshorns.
Yeah,
Sorry, I miss them.
I'm probably gonna annoy a lot of people by this. Like, while I get that he's probably gonna like slip into the role like the Hartshorns did, like a lot of his music kind of lacks subtlety in some respects. So like, for whenever a character gets something wrong, it's always like the flangy wah 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 trumpets that you get in like old cartoons, or like or like when like in Series 20, whenever Diesel appears, it's always this weird beatboxy type thing. I'm not sure what it is, but like it feels like it's relying a lot on musical tropes, and like that's perfectly fine. But it does feel a lot more like it feels a lot more like the Hartshorns had like a degree of, or had developed a degree of subtlety with their music. So especially in like their sort of swan songs of The Adventure Begins and So Does Legend of the Lost Treasure, their music is like, it plays to the like themes of the specials. It knows when to be like child friendly and upbeat for tab, and with Slottle it knows when to be grand, and it also knows when to be like calm and sort of like soothing. I think another comparison, and like I'm sorry, I'm comparing Slol and the Great Race a lot.
We know
But,
we love we know we love Slotwood a lot more.
I just love it so much.
Yeah.
But like take for example, in both specials where Thomas is talking to, let's say, Ryan and Percy in the two different specials, for like the moment where the two, like Ryan and Thomas, sort of like make amends. The music is sort of like slow. It's sort of like easygoing. It's slowly paced. It's calm. It's cool. It sort of sets the theme for like the upcoming like huge chase that's coming up. It sort of like eases you in, and it's like, oh, that's nice. But when Thomas and Percy talk in The Great Race, it's like they got the Scrubs musical piano sad tune, which I will probably try and sneak into the edits or give to whoever's editing, which is like very pinkly tinkly pianos, and it's like it's like it's deliberately trying to play the same emotions, but is doing it in a lot less subtle a way, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I can get that. I mean, like, the music's the score hasn't always been like the big thing for Thomas, but I do admire like what the Hartshorns have done, and like compared to their previous films, I don't remember much of Renshaw's stuff in the special outside of his use of the main like classic theme, which I think says quite a lot, if that makes sense.
Mm.
But yeah, next section. Oh wait, no, we haven't talked about the songs. So, will you, won't you?
I would.
I won't.
Okay, that was
let's
not
talk
the
about the songs. Thank
Yeah,
you.
let's so talk about the song. Will you, won't you?
Well, I thought it was special. I thought it was great.
Are you
I
off
want to go to the
mainland with
mainland without
or
coaches and freight.
Haydn.
Oh, right. Sorry. Am I meant to finish this game of lyric quoting?
Yeah.
Please, viewers at home, I beg you. I just have to know.
Will you? Won't you?
Listen to
Let's
Tom.
Make
Cast
an
do-
innuendo.
Oh, okay. Well,
kind of a
basically,
trumpet
we like
song.
the song and we think it's quite catchy.
Yeah.
What was the next song? I forgot. No,
Yo,
Come on and
next
slam.
song.
And welcome to the jam. We
To
won't
the
get
jam.
copyright strikes for that.
No,
Oh,
no,
okay,
the
I'll
notes were the
continue.
same. It's fine.
Right, next song.
Um,
Streamlining. Thomas rendition. Go.
I thought it was a lot of fun. Like it's annoying and gets stuck in your head like
Yeah.
an earworm times 20. But like, the enthusiasm in it was nice, and I like the bit where they take Thomas apart.
Yep.
I'd just like to bring up a point here.
I think that the UK Thomas, whoever that may be,
John
insert name there, sings a lot better than the US one.
That is definite.
Just me.
Well, we're not gonna have a flame war in the comments, are we?
It's
Well,
okay.
it's kind of true though.
I
Just
also want to
in
point
singing
out that
prowess
song gets
alone-
points for Annie and Clarabella's backing vocals. That's
Yeah.
a lot of fun.
But like singing prowess alone, Hassler does do a lot better than May.
US guy May.
Simply for the whooshing alone.
Yeah. The US guy, he's a very good actor. I think he says his lines well. But I wouldn't put him in my musical that I'm definitely not making.
Spoilers, Stuart. Oh my god. But yeah. I mean, if it helps, you guys have the better Gordon, you Americans.
Yeah. By a country mile and several continents.
But yeah.
Personally,
Next
I
song.
picked the
Next song.
Rush
I'm
to bed.
full of surprises.
Mm.
I
Everybody
think
loved
it was wonderful.
It was
It's my
brilliant.
jam. Come on and
I-
slam.
I think one of my favorite bits was like sort of the extra bits of dialogue that the other Diesels had throughout the song. So like at the beginning, you know, you have Paxton going, "Are you singing, Diesel?" But like And one of my favorites is like I can't remember now. Oh no.
It's not just the
Oh.
song, but it's the visual accompaniment as well. The sight
Yeah.
of Diesel doing a dance is
Yeah,
something I
or
will
like
never
trying
forget.
to dance as a
Trying to
Yeah,
dance.
like a diesel. But like one of my favorite bits is towards the end, and is like someone would probably say, "I'm only up to my old tricks," or like there's the line, "Because I had a bit of previous,"
Mm.
and like she's talking about his like previous misdeeds. But my favorite bit is that you can hear Paxton in the background going, "I don't want to know."
Don't want to know.
It's just so it's so much more sinister than it intends to be, but that makes it quite funny. Yeah, I thought that was great, and then I was like, I think it was either Den or Dot just went beep beep, which I also found
Yeah.
really weird. Like the first few times I heard that, I sort of went, "Is that a miss? Is this something like gone wrong with my copy of the film, or am I just hearing things?"
I didn't hear it.
I hear everything. Next song, You Don't Need.
To be faster, biggest.
Mishima version.
Yes, the first one. I'm going in chronological order, man.
I think
Okay.
it was like much like the rest of the songs. I think it was good, but there are very shaky lyrics
Yeah.
upon re-listening.
But I think it's got like a really charming tune.
Yeah, it has a nice. It's very.
It's
What's the word?
a very kind of.
It's sincere at the very least.
Yeah.
It knows what it's trying to do.
And the visuals of Thomas's face on Captain's body
Oh,
raising
no.
the eyebrows.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Some of those.
I would.
Quite.
Oh god.
Or like how I think someone took the still image of Thomas as Bertie and like photoshopped it to just be Bertie without a face, which is quite horrifying when you think about it.
Okay.
I don't want to see my engines without faces in Thomas.
If I want to do that, I can go outside in the real world.
Yeah, what on earth is wrong with you, Thomas producers? You don't know the line between reality and non-reality.
Yes. Next song. Streamlining Gordon's version.
I really like this cover of Pop Goes the Gordon.
I don't think the stream, like the boiler blowing up, should have been played up to be a lot more severe.
You have to stop!
Listen to me, Gordon. There's something wrong. But like it's the bit when he actually sort of his boiler actually blows up, and he makes a sound, and it doesn't sound like his boiler's just blown up. It sounds like he's just had a bit of a hot curry.
Yeah.
like
It's that sort of weird. He's not about to die.
Like,
Yeah.
it makes sense that they do that, because, like, if I was a little kid and Gordon suddenly let out a death scream, I'd be like, ah!
we already know what Gordon letting out a death scream is like. Wink. All the Shed 17 fans are going to be commenting.
But then, like, back in the day, I swear I was terrified by Ringo Starr going, "Oh, get out of my way!" as Gordon. So, Gordon's just terrifying. I don't want to see him in pain, but I don't want to see him.
I think they
not
should have
in
played it up a
pain.
little bit more, just so it's like, because you're not meant to make the kids feel comfortable at the concept of an engine's boiler exploding.
Well,
I think you're getting it all wrong. Do you know what? I think you're right about the hot curry. Let's go with that, right? Gordon thought he had an asbestos mouth. We've all thought that. Come on, don't deny it. So he thought he'd have a go, and that's when he realised that he kind of messed a few things up. You know, when he thought he'd got the mild curry, no, extra spicy.
Stuart, did he wash it down with like a hot chocolate that had just been poured out or something?
Gin.
Or like 3 frappuccinos or cappuccinos, or the hot one, I whatever they're called.
Nah, worse.
What could be worse than that?
I'm trying to think.
Well, keep thinking and save it for another time, because next song is the other You Don't Need, or We Don't Need, the last one.
I like how it's kind of like they're on the bus home and they're just singing. Yeah. I imagine the Fat Controller in Gordon's cab is like, "You've been singing all the way from the mainland. Could you not play?"
He's just got his top hat over his ears.
He's like, "I wish I hadn't sent any of you to the bloody railway show now."
Oh, second swear word of the
Bloody is
podcast.
not a swear word,
And
you.
plus, we've been
is
swearing
you-
a lot more prior to
Additionally,
this.
there's been so many
shut
swear
the
words.
poo up.
Raspberry flavored tickle
I don't
bear.
know if I don't quite know
You
if the F
basket
word is.
case.
Oh, okay.
Go on, Stuart. We can make this really
Okay, well,
ugly
you just
if
took
we
it too
wish.
far.
Let's not do that
Oh,
just yet.
well. It's your fault, isn't it? You just took
will
it a
be.
bit too personally.
Well, you know what?
What?
Maybe if all of your basket cases died, you'd feel the same way. But yeah, I like the song.
Yeah, it's a good song. And now the final song. He's full of surprises.
That's
The
my
rendition
favourite.
sung by the producer, writer, and songwriter, whose names
Yeah,
I should
it's
remember, but can't at the moment.
Andrew Brenner,
Um,
Ian McHugh, and Oliver.
Dave.
No,
Dave.
it's Oliver something.
It's
Oliver.
Oliver
no,
Davis,
Stipe.
isn't it?
Oh, thank you, Oliver Davis.
Yeah, he was
There
good.
we go.
He was kind of right.
Spot the real fan.
I
None of us remembered all the names.
Go on.
still
go.
think my favorite thing is how you were singing along in the cinema, Matt, to the end
Yeah.
credits song, and it got
Yeah,
picked up by the
bit
recording.
of background. Me and Mayoorhan saw this together, and among many of the moments during that trip was me attempting to sing along to the last song. It was quite catchy, and the end credits scene is great. Like that, the ending.
Yeah,
like, the last scene with
the
Den
post-credit scene. Oh my god, that was brilliant.
Made up.
Paxton, Den,
for-
Dart, and Cranky and Diesel.
It's
That's
so
the
brilliant.
best
No
bit.
one questions how they're not actually on the tracks because they can't be on the tracks if they're facing the docks like that.
Oh, nobody
No one
cares.
cared.
It's too funny.
But exactly, it was great.
That sort of leads nicely into like the animation
Yeah.
subject thing. Like I quite like
What a
how they.
segue.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
Hey,
That
that's
was
my
my
first
next
segue.
section I was going to announce, Haydn.
Oh, okay. I
Don't,
obviously.
Don't try to undermine me. Yes, next section, animation.
And there goes the segue.
I jumped the gun bridge, but like I like how the animation team is sort of like taking liberties with how the set is or how the characters are. Like things that work are like Thomas taking a bend a little too sharply when the internationals are retreating, like just so you can see over his shoulder. It's nice that they're sort of like making nice shots and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't think like the lighting is as good as Slaughter's set lighting. Like that was far more atmospheric and cinematic, but this feels a lot more experimental. Like when they did the forced perspective thing with Victor, or when they changed the clock into like Gordon's safety valve thing blowing up. Like just lots of little things, and I
In that respect,
admire that.
In that respect, it is sort of the perfect counter to season 19, which in itself was also highly experimental.
Yeah, because like I think people don't like, because like a lot of people like there's this thing about, oh, Arc weren't that good with series 17, and like it's a step back from Nitrogen. I'm like, yeah, in terms of like textures, I guess, but in terms of like animations and as in actually animating things, I think Arc were better from the get go, because the way they animate people and like stuff in the background that you don't really notice the first time you see it, but you notice on repeat viewings, that stuff is brilliant. Like when people are dancing on the station when Thomas races through and streamlining, or like the gag how like when the fast engines race past and like Topham loses his hat and like he thinks everyone's laughing at him when they're laughing at Thomas, and like
Or the sliding lady from series 20 that we're totally not gonna.
What?
Yes,
Oh,
The love of your life.
leave her out of this, guys.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'll do my best.
Yeah,
You two are just so perfect together. I'm sorry.
Your
I
best
kid
isn't
up a
that
little
good,
bit.
Matt. But yeah, it's just like all the way they animate people, like from series 17, they were really good at it, I think. Like if you want examples from series 17, there's the episode with Charlie. You have his driver look, or like someone in his cab looking out for the elephant, and they put the binoculars on backwards, realize they're wearing it the wrong way around and turn it around. You have the man who loses his newspaper when Harold takes off. And this is all in Series 17, remember, when Arc were apparently shit. But that is one aspect I think they've always done really well. And like sort of little things, how like, even though they never explicitly said that the Fat Controller kept missing Thomas until like the very end, they kept showing him like sort of coincidentally missing the fact that Thomas was at the railway show.
Yeah.
It's little details in the animation that I think are really nice. It's a very pretty movie. But yeah, and I could get one big final section before we move on to the series 20 episodes. What would you change to improve the special?
I think I would have it focused more on Gordon and less on Thomas.
Yes.
Kind of like what they did in the Tale of the Brave with James when he was sort of the third wheel. It was mostly about Percy and James, that special. Thomas was there as well, but it was mostly
That
about.
reminds me, I've gotten a new appreciation for Tale of the Brave since rewatching it today. Because I was bored and I just sort of saw it again, and I went, "This is better than I remember it."
Yeah, it is very good.
Yeah, like I think unlike Slotholt and Great Race, where they're so like packed to the brim with stuff, Taylor the Brave feels a bit stretched. Like it's not got enough to fill in the runtime, so they just add a bit more, so it feels a bit more padded. But at the same time, you appreciate the simplicity of the story compared to like Slotholt and the Great Race. Like I think that's the one thing I miss about Tale of the Brave is that it was just a very simple story at its core, which I liked.
And the fact they had time to plant the seeds for an episode idea in there as well.
Yeah, yeah. But yes, going back to how we would fix the Great Race, because that is the main thing. I would also like. This is such a a thing. I don't think many people have sort of brought it up, but like a lot of complaints have been headed towards the international engines and how they haven't really done anything in the special, and it is very difficult to get them to do anything given how many of them there are and the runtime. But what I would have done, and this is probably going to be a bit of a weird suggestion, is I would have had a lot more international engines. Hear me out. A lot more international engines deliberately for background fodder. Because if you look at the way the competition is proportioned, it doesn't make any sense. Because Sodor has 5 competitors. The mainland has like 2, both of whom are competing in the same event. India has 2. Other countries just have 1. The whole of Africa has nothing. So what I would have done is I would have had just a lot more international engines as background fodder, just to make the place look a lot more busy and look like a massive event, to just like dwarf Sodor a bit more in the grand scheme of the world. But as well as that, I wouldn't have had like the gag about them going like all the internationals arriving onto the Sodor and then backing up onto the ship. What I would have done is I would have had like a core cast of internationals, the ones that you focused on, so like Ashima, Vinny, Yongbao, like just a few, and they all get stuck on Sodor, so that way you can expand like more of the characters. If that makes sense. But that's like my thing is like rather than just sort of have like a weird number of internationals, you have a lot of internationals representing most nations of the world, plus a core cast of them. But yeah. Also, I would have had the bridge jump actually damage Thomas in some way. He passes that off far too easily. And yeah, there's one last thing I would change, but I can't remember it at the moment. Oh yeah, I would have made the Great Race itself the titular thing, the actual finale to the special, and not just something that happens. But again, with how full it is, it's a lot of things just sort of just happen in the Great Race. But yeah, so final thoughts, everybody, and you can take up more than a sentence this time. Haydn.
It was alright. Flying Scotsman needed a musical number. Modern Major General, I think he should have done. And yeah, I'm holding out the hope that sort of the next special or whatever it is, yes, that sort of takes the strengths of the Great Race and sort of like considers the weaknesses and like works from there. Because like if any special is the most like sort of corporate, I would take one very corporate special over all of them being very corporate.
Fair enough. Stuart?
Why did they let the French one win? It's just embarrassing.
Matt?
I've done mine.
No, but you can expand a bit more on it.
Yeah. Rather than have the Gordon versus Scotsman thing a subplot, like we've mentioned before, I think if we were to have like the main body of the special be about Gordon suddenly got his older brother showing up, and he doesn't want to be like this would be a new side to Gordon. We'd see the side of him where he goes, oh, my older brother's here. Oh, what do I do? Oh, I'm gonna go and get streamlined and enter the race. Yeah. And then that would have been character development more for Gordon than it would have been for Thomas.
Yeah, and like you get hints of that. Also,
yeah,
I've just realised we've forgotten one bit about the special.
The Scotsman.
No, the Vinny Philip subplot thing.
Oh yes.
Oh, it's so forgettable though.
Exactly.
Let's throw it away.
Let's just nip that in the bud. It's so forgettable. We forgot about it. Cut it.
Vinny exists.
Oh, come on.
Philip sort of exists.
I think Philip was very good.
Okay. Hold on, bitch.
Gotcha.
Stuart,
Get out.
I
think. Yeah, I'm gonna run away now. No, I've forgotten where I was going with that point now. Yeah.
Right.
You didn't have a point, did you, Matt?
If I'm honest, no, I just wanted to fire a shot at you, and it worked brilliantly.
Yeah, it hit me in an area that shouldn't be hit. Not that area.
Not your wallet.
Yeah, right in the wallet.
Ugh, sorry.
All those brand new £5 notes destroyed. Oh wait, no, they're not. They're bulletproof. Huh. So they don't shrink. They don't shrink in the wash. You can wear them as bandanas, and they're bulletproof.
Can you wear them as bandanas?
Yeah. If you have enough.
Things I'd try if I had any.
Okay then. Moving on. Our thoughts on the series' 20 episodes so far. So I'm gonna quickfire this. Y'all give me a sentence on the episode as I say its title. Right.
Yep.
We ready? Ready. Right. Episode 1. Sydney sings.
Meh.
It was okay.
It was alright.
Cool. Toby's new friend.
Bell's
Quite like
Bell
that.
episode done right.
Made Philip okay.
Okay. I know Hayden's gonna fanboy over this one. Henry gets the express.
It's Henry, and he's competent
Take it away,
at
Henry.
stuff.
I like his paint scheme.
Cool. Diesel
Hey,
and the Dutchman.
Black ducklings!
No! I like how Ari and Bert were chasing a butterfly. That's all.
Yeah.
Bradford the brake van.
Oh!
Hey! Oh dear, how sad.
Battery Sergeant Major has ascended to the next level of existence.
I think the episode's biggest fault is its moral. Doesn't really have a good one or make sense. I think what it should have done is have Bradford alongside Toad, because then you would have had good character dynamics about two different ways of being a brake fan. One
Good
being the
plot,
Mr.
bad-
Polite Toad and the other Bradford. And I think that would be much better.
I like Bradford's eyebrows. They appeal to me on a very deep level. And also, I agree about the good cop, bad cop brake van duo. Have Oliver there, have Oliver be all.
Yeah, Oliver instead of Thomas.
Yeah.
I really like it because of Battery Sergeant Major Williams is there, and I think they should have a character who he refers to as Lardy-Dar Gunpowder Van Graham.
Yep, that would have been the best.
Fair enough. Moving on to the Christmas lot. Letters to Santa.
I think it should have been called Hark the Herald Angel.
Yes.
I like how I think the main thing I like about it is how they play the Letters to Santa thing completely straight without a hint of irony. That amused me quite a bit. Though I don't get why they flash back the whole Percy thing from his
It's
race
nice
with
to
Harold.
see.
That wasn't
The
really
whole
needed.
Percy doing the thing.
Yeah, nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Shameless
Chasing
plug-in.
helicopters battling the. Yeah, okay.
Yep. The Christmas coffee pot.
I don't like how they took the victory away from Marion. That was her victory.
Yeah.
Why? I feel like that's a problem with how the team is treating Marion. Like, jokes go on too far and too long at her expense.
Yeah.
I'd rather be laughing with her than at her.
Plus, there's also a side of Marion they've seemed to have forgotten about, and that's her really knowledgeable, like really smart side, and like her historic, like because she was basically just played it a bit in Tale of the Brave, and then that was it. So
She's a mental archaeologist.
She's a professional.
I think that it was like it feels like an episode that could have been 2 minutes long, but they stretched out.
That's
Yeah.
what they did in the next episode. After
You know, like,
it.
what they
Yeah.
should have done was gone, please, people, can we just make an extended episode? Please?
Though I did like how this sort of had a very vague hint to the next episode, which I liked.
Yes.
Like it sort of ended on a kind of cliffhanger. Speaking of which, next episode, Over the Hill.
Wonderful,
Bam,
beautiful, stupendous.
bam,
I loved
Bam,
it so
bam.
much.
Ah,
It
it's
is
so
brilliant.
brilliant. So
Yeah.
brilliant. Railcar and coaches.
I
Daisy
think
was
that
in
was
it, but Daisy didn't need to be in it much.
I think it works as a Daisy story. It feels like a classic branch line story, and I like how they made Annie and Terrible fuck up a bit. I genuinely
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
it's nice.
That was
Yeah.
quite nice.
I like
Yeah.
how no one's perfect anymore.
Yeah.
Like,
I like-
everyone. Can make
No
a
one is
mistake.
safe.
I like how she goes from being quite posh to, where's my fitter?
Yeah, the person they've
Yeah.
got to do Daisy is great.
Mm.
It's like Woody
Brilliant.
Rushton, but natural woman.
Moving on to the best title of the season, Love Me Tender.
I like the guy, like Donald or Douglas's driver, who's just like, this is
This is
really
good
good
cocoa."
cocoa, and they all just look at him like,
What
well,
are
you didn't need
talking
to,
about?
you didn't need to announce it like that.
That's not the cow.
One
Because
of
like
the
I said,
most
they're
clever-
really good with human animations. Arc. They're just really good
One
at
of
it.
things I did like about that, and I noticed this immediately just because I have apparently got the ability to recognise the voice actors now, but they've got Rackstraw playing Donald and Mills playing Douglas, but they've got the opposite voice actor playing the other one's crew. So like that was Douglas's crew. That was Donald's voice actor playing Douglas's crew. So that's an even more interesting way about doing it, which I just thought was a pretty funny thing. But yeah, it's a really good episode.
I've got a little point actually about Rackstraw. Though I like how they've got 2 actors for the twins now. I don't think Rackstraw was the man for the job.
I don't know, but
That's my
Alright.
opinion.
I like
because
how
he
they're
sounds-
playing.
I mean, I always preferred Douglas anyway.
He just
I like
doesn't
how
I
they-
do like.
Go on,
doesn't
Matt.
sound Scottish.
Yeah, I just finished that off. I do like how they're playing them as brothers now, as opposed to Bill and Ben as the twins. It's quite a nice way to differentiate between the two of them.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
like how they are now distinctive. Like, they did have that sort of thing back in the old series. But now, like, Douglas is the younger one, and he's always... He gets moody very quickly. And,
Yeah.
like, Donald is the old one who thinks he knows best.
Yeah.
And,
they-
like, they make a wonderful dynamic that
They
way.
do have the description of like Douglas being the one who just sort of dives headfirst into a situation, whereas Donald's more likely to think about it. And I think this is like the first time in the show where you really sort of get that.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
like as I was saying, they do hint at that in like episodes like Donald's Duck. Donald thinks about how to pay Duck out, or like Douglas in Escape. He just goes, "Yeah,
Just-
you're coming home with me, Oliver."
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like it's existed, but never when they're both in the same episode, which I sort of like because it makes sense. Like Douglas is the one who loses his tender, like that would happen to the brash one. And then finally the episode that was just released today, Saving Time.
I haven't seen it. Is it about time travel?
Have you not seen it?
Yeah.
We just did a watch through before we
Samson
started the
goes 88
podcast.
miles an hour.
Well, I wasn't there.
Oh
He was eating.
dear. Should we?
Is it? Let me guess. Samson takes on some magic coal, and he time travels to when the Reverend was writing a book and says "boo." The Reverend goes, "Gadzooks," drops his book, and that was the original manuscript to Thomas the Tank Engine 2, Too Hot for Egmont.
Electric Boogaloo.
And Samson comes back and he's like, I just stopped that happening. And it turns out he's destroyed the future. So now he has to team up with Toby to go back to the past to go to the future that they wanted. Am I close?
Surprisingly accurate.
Okay, that's enough. But yeah, what did the people who have seen it think of Saving Time?
It was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like how
I
they're
like
having
it.
more weird concepts for episodes while still being in the ordinary. Does that make sense? Like, it's
Yeah.
sort of, take a drink every time I said if that makes sense throughout this podcast. You will die.
Well, I've already run out of drink.
But yeah,
I'm
it's
pissed out
nice.
of my face. It's
But like, the slight thing that's been bugging me about the animation is how, like, for certain characters, they've clearly updated the models to make them like up to scratch with the rest of the scenery and everything, and for others they haven't. Case in point, with episodes like Sydney Sings and Saving Time, when you have a shot of like Samson or a shot of Sydney, they look like it looks like it's from series 17. And then when you cut to any of the other characters, it looks, oh right, the animation's upgraded again. So it's a bit weird,
Mm.
but you kind of have to accept it because the other characters aren't used that often, so it's not worth giving them the nicer models.
Mm.
But at the same time, it is still a bit weird. Yeah, that's the series. 20 episodes so far. Ooh, there might be more released there definitely will be more released in the future. But for now,
We'd
that's
hope
all.
so.
Yeah. But for now, that's all that's been aired. 11 so far, so 15 more to go.
We could talk
very-
about the great finale that happened earlier this summer.
Oh, we
What,
could.
series 19?
Oh,
That
Wait,
happened
what?
more recently.
What? What was this?
He
What
was
were we
talking about Thomas again, but we've already talked about
I
that.
know. I was talking about cross lines.
Cross what?
That came out ages ago, man. You know, your old
It's okay,
hat,
I remember.
Haydn.
Oh, I'm half
We're
baked.
joking.
All you're doing now is
Shameless
filling the
self-promotion.
void.
No, Stuart.
But yes, Haydn, how have
Yeah.
you been, Haydn, how have you been keeping yourself busy since being unemployed on the 8th of the 8th, 2016?
Well, I've recently taken up drinking my own tears. Singing great arias about how it's over, isn't it? Off balconies across the city. Playing guitar,
Yeah.
I can see it in the corner. Come to me, my guitar. No, okay. I aged up a year. It's great. Yay.
What are you
Here
gonna
we
do
see
now
a
that
man
Vine's
in
packed up
denial
as
about
well?
the state of his series. But hey, at least Old Lang Syne is filling the void.
No,
Can we
seriously,
not?
Hayden. Hayden.
Matt,
Yeah, what are you gonna do now that Vine's packed up as well? Because you can't make any more cross Vines either.
everything's ending.
Everything's ended.
I mean, it's October. That's like almost November, and it will probably be released in November and December's. Everything's
It's the start of
ending.
times. It's
Well,
the
they
is
end
don't
of
call it
times.
Stoptober for a reason.
I mean,
But yeah, I mean, we're gonna miss cross lines.
Yeah.
But you know, you did good, Hayden. You did very good.
You did
I
very
am
good.
especially proud of the finale, and if you haven't checked it out, you can check it out on my YouTube channel, which is.
If you haven't checked it out, do it now, or I got you like sheep. But yeah, moving swiftly on to the last, well, near last section. It is time for questions from Twitter.
Shall I
Oh,
read them
question.
out? Have you got them up, Marin, or shall I?
I'm ready and waiting, chappy.
Oh, well, I'm ready and waiting too. Are we ready and waiting on the same thing, though?
I'm ready.
Well, I don't know, but you know what? I'm just gonna read out the questions as they come.
Well.
So, Stuart, this one is by Engine. Oh,
well done.
Engine 93 at Engine 93. You have weird Twitter handles, people.
Is that like Soldier 76?
What?
Engine. Is that like Soldier 76, Engine 93?
No, it's not Engine.
You had
93,
to bring
it's
Overwatch into
Engine
it.
93. But yes, what was the inspiration for Old Lang Syne as a series? The characters. The banter is wonderful. So you've kind of done what the inspiration was for the series, but what about the characters? What just made you come up with Maud, Holmes, and Cedric, or Cecil?
Right.
It's Cecil, actually. Well, you see, Maud is loosely based on me, actually. But not as I am now, because I used to be a very grumpy person. Not a grumpy racist.
Used to be.
Shut your trap.
Ah.
Whoa.
No, but I was that person who would just kind of complain about everything. So I guess I am my own inspiration.
Ow.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
There were a few people that a lot of characters were inspired from people at school because I went to school with a lot of bad people. I hope
Where
they
did
all
Dougal
die.
come from? That's
Dougal-
what I want to know.
Dougal came
Yeah.
from one of my best friends at school, actually. One of the few decent people there. A guy called Phil. He actually taught me how to do this kind of voice, because back then I couldn't do anything. But we had our own little sketch,
Hmm.
with PC Dick and PC Bobby on the scene. We used to just do a lot of improv, and those are two characters we created. And though the one I played became another character which hasn't really done anything. He's a station master called Archie. Phil's character became Dougald. But I added a few things to it, like the spirits.
And the Murderer.
And, well, I can't take credit for that one. Someone else in this call can.
Haydn,
Yeah, go on, Aiden.
take your credit.
That's me.
the
That
next
was me.
Are you going to say something, Stuart?
Oh, yeah, Holmes. Well, the thing is that Holmes was always the sort of character that I felt uncomfortable calling a character, because until recently, he didn't really have one. It was only until Mayo was like, Holmes is a bit bland, isn't he? I was like, yeah. And then he said, he should read books. And I went, yeah. So that's what he does now. And, he's sort
And
of...
if you think that's not a personality, wait till you see what that spirals into in an upcoming episode. Ooh, teasing you things.
Ooh, yeah.
Ooh.
Cedric?
Nice.
Um,
On the Cedric voice.
Yes,
So-
Cedric, that character you made so clearly inspired by Philip.
no, it was more... It's like, the initial written character was more inspired on younger me. Because I am my own inspiration.
Yes, and we would like to say Cedric was created before Philip, so any
It
comment
was.
suggesting that...
It really annoys me.
Yeah.
Sorry, wait. Stuart
Every,
was young.
every time you make that mistake, the baby Stuart cries.
And the adult as well. and the one in between.
I didn't know Stuart was
Um,
ever young.
I thought he was born as an old man.
I was born as an old man, but I
No,
had
that's TARDIS Rescue.
I had
He
a
was
midlife
born
crisis.
middle-aged.
Oh yeah, sorry, my bad.
Midlife crisis where I became young. Again. Well,
Yes,
not again, but...
moving swiftly on to the next question by @SteamPrudskborg. To me and Half-Baked Hex8, how did Old Long Syne get you to be in his series? How
Oh,
did you get
thanks.
us to be in yours? Yeah,
Thanks.
Forget
Like-
Matt. This is me in it.
Great.
Actually, no. Very simply, the reason why all us three ended up getting cast, because we weren't really part of the creative team until we got cast. The reason we got cast is because of someone called Neil, 10 who was
Part of the
was
creative
basically
team.
helping you with the series, Stuart, and he sort of kind of bugged us into doing it.
He did talent scouting, essentially. But I
Yeah.
also made a pact in blood, so if you want me for your series, you are going to have to bring a contract to me so I can just, bleed all over it and, sign away my soul and 24 days of pleasure or whatever. I don't know what Faustus did.
The funny thing is about when Neil did that casting, because just finished the first script, I was like, now I've got to cast it. Oh well, I'll do most of the stuff. You can do the other stuff. I was like, no, I know people. And then I was like, Neil. I was like, I've cast it. I was like, and
Wow.
it was great though, because it turns out that Neil's very good at casting.
Except you as Edward, apparently.
Yeah. That's
Enjoy being the
something
new budget Edward. It's
Okay, this is just a little segue though. The fun
Is it?
the fun fact is that I originally played Maud.
George originally played Cedric.
Yeah, George was originally going to be playing Cedric. I don't know if he knew that, but
Well, now he does. Or now he will.
and yeah, And yeah, Neil didn't care. Neil didn't care.
Right.
Yeah.
Next
no, but
question by @ProcastPicks. Will Maud ever find true love?
He settles down with a beautiful young engine from Kilkenny. It's weird that they live so far apart. They keep in touch. They use Skype. Yeah, that's my headcanon anyway. I'm not sure about the true canon.
Yeah, no, right on the. You must have been reading my notes. I mean, obviously, Maud likes to go for more curvaceous engines, which is why
I
went
thought
big,
I thought
broad
he ended up getting
gauge.
hooked with the Happy Truck.
Yeah.
But
No,
like the 20th
the-
one.
no, the Happy Truck is like someone's right hand.
They're platonic life partners. And oh my god, what?
Stuart.
God's sake.
You got that bit out.
I probably won't though. It's gonna be an hour long. I can't cut that down.
Oh dear. We were just going for the class angle.
I mean
Right.
class
Hey,
C,
Next
not
next
class.
question. Next question, chaps. @CarrotJuice42 asks, isn't Maud like a girl's name? And to that I say, you, my friend, need to watch episode 3.
I was going to say yes, and to you, I will also say yes.
We also
Um,
have a few more questions. Shall we go
Oh
through?
no, I've still got. I'm not done yet.
Oh right.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Don't try and run away with this question. I'm the host here.
I'm
boy.
trying to do a hostile takeover, dang it.
Technically,
I
the
mean,
amount of guests here
It's
outweighs
boy.
them. Come on, Haydn,
Percy
boys, we
fan
can take you.
1998 MV asks, how much would Maud care when/if he learns about Flying Scotsman's 8-hour non-stop run?
Oh, that's a good one, actually. Though I fear that the answer is going to be quite disappointing.
You wouldn't?
Which is
Wouldn't. Maud is one of those engines that he's
just
very
call
much.
You just call him a useless dauber and move on with his life.
Yeah, he doesn't like hearing about. He doesn't care about the world down south or the.
it doesn't
if it's
exist to him.
Yeah, because he's just a humble person who's already got enough of his own problems. I mean, if you were being annoyed by this small box thing, would you care about the Flying Scotsman?
@ParverProductions asks, what's your favourite part of the Auld Lang Syne Ice Bucket Challenge?
Was it Auld Lang Syne or was it ALS?
ALS. But I presume.
Well, in that case, and I am going to go with this.
Oh god. Right, I'm gonna redact
There
that.
goes the last shred of this
No!
podcast's respectability.
Right. @Lucas202 Eddie asks many questions. How do you make your scenes? Well, okay, I will read it how it is typed. How do you make your sense? Is it a layout or a table like X lines? I think he's meaning how do you set up your scenes?
Right, I don't know how Haydn does it, but
Well, isn't that the question?
well, Haydn, how do you do it?
Well, I
Left
just
hand, right hand.
I make it work.
Well,
Oh, do you?
Well, I don't
Max!
make mine work, so definitely like.
Can we not? Can we get back to the classy
Yes,
stuff?
answer
You know,
the
the
question,
champers,
please. Answer the
the
question,
champers and the
please.
Yeah,
prawns.
I use my layout, but I make sets on it because I
Okay.
haven't finished it yet. So I just clear things to the one side, plop down a few buildings, go, I wish I had more money so the sets were more diverse, and then I just film it.
Fair enough. And the same person also asks, what your favourite locomotive model and Thomas character is. We've already got one of those. So what's your favourite locomotive and model/model?
My favourite locomotive is the North British Railway C-Class, the J36, and that is purely for nostalgic reasons.
That's Maud's class, by the way.
If I was to make sense and be proper, I would probably go for a Gresley V2 or a Peppercorn A1. But then they're there. My favourite model, I don't know. It would have been Maud, but Maud's a great runner, right? Runs really well, but because it's a kit from the 70s, it doesn't hold up when you put it next to Hornby A4. Favorite model? Do you know what? I'm gonna go with my model of humorist because that's always fun to run. No, actually no, even better. My
Oh.
model of North British because
Oh.
it's BR blue, it's a peppercorn A1, and it works. This was by
Alright.
back.
Alright.
Why you?
At Davis_Selby asks, most difficult part of making a video, what advice would you give to model video makers such as yourself?
My advice would be to go to Haydn because that's what I do.
Hayden, what advice would you give to model video makers such as yourself?
Wow. Okay, that was a curveball. That was an aversion. What advice would I give to model video makers such as yourself? Make sure you don't put your hand in like ballast. Don't like press down hard on the ballast because that
Don't
hurts.
glue the ballast. Don't glue the ballast.
Yeah, that is very good advice.
Do ballast, kid.
Make the set. My God.
Well,
What was that? Was
I
someone wolf
I
whistling
think
you
that
there?
actually got picked up in the recording as well.
Right. So yeah, be careful where you put your ballast. Don't sit on it.
Don't put your ballast
Make
where
sure-
your mouth is. Or glue it down.
Make sure you make sure you can film on your set. So like make sure there's enough place to put the camera and like no ballast under the camera. That's really annoying. Always make sure the set works before you film on it. So like give your tracks a test using like an engine just to see that it all links up, because no matter how many times I filmed episode shots for cross lines, the engines would just rebel and not like the track, and I'd be like, oh okay then, I've got a drama queen on set, Atlas. Make sure you get working engines. Be very skeptical about second-hand engines, because not bet Boomer was second-hand, and I have reason to believe he was like sixth-hand as well. And have fun. Have fun's very important, I think.
All right.
Yes.
That's good advice. Second to last question. At CO28BO asks, I hope the BO doesn't stand for body odor. What goes into writing and recording an episode?
This is the part where you're going to be very disappointed. Now, it doesn't happen where I'm in my study with my reading glasses on, with a feather thing in one hand and book on the desk and go,
You mean a
ah,
chorus?
yes, wouldn't that be a brilliant idea? No, what happens is usually we're all on a Skype call, and then a conversation will start up, and we'll go, wouldn't that be a stupid idea? And they go, wait, we'll make that. And that's sort of how most of the episodes have occurred.
Genuinely, that is actually how Clear as Maud happened.
I have proof of the creative flow. It's weird.
And yeah, recording is basically we get all the cast into a big Skype call and we just do all the lines, like just blurt them out. All the main cast do anyway.
I think that's how it makes it so like
Bantery between the main
Yeah.
characters, because we are
Yeah.
like, unlike most videos, it's not like one of us is directing just one of the actors. We are all just genuinely talking to each other.
Yeah,
It's the Thunderbird's way of doing things. In fact, we're recording one later today, aren't
You
we?
see, I kind of like I go by the reason why I'm really happy with the cast
Good.
I've got. I know it sounds like I'm brown nosing, but stay with me. Is the fact that all of us are friends, and that it means that when it comes to improvisation and stuff, we can work with each other as opposed to work against.
Mhm.
So there's a lot of things that aren't scripted, like whether it's little Maud comments about Cedric, or somewhere I have a little document filled with Cedric's Shakespearean readings. It's really nice because of it. It feels like actual conversation, in my opinion.
Alas, poor troublesome, I hardly knew thee.
There you go.
Just there's some genuine gold.
There was the
in
to
the
be or
recording.
not to be one as well.
Be
for the most
or
recent-
not to be? That is the question. Whether it is nobler in the mind to suffer slings of arrows of Maud!
It's pretty much how it went.
Yeah.
And yeah, just so many little things. And the final question: out of all your models, what was the hardest? Oh wait, I forgot to say who asked it. By at Andrew_H95. There we go.
Mhm.
Out of all your models, what was the hardest to get? There's another part to this question, which I'm saving for because it's a funny one.
Oh no.
What was
Is it?
What was the hardest to get? Answer that question first.
I think I know the next one. If I
Answer the
do,
question,
I'll
child.
answer it. Maud Mark II.
So the one that's currently in the show?
The one that's currently in the show but is going to be replaced.
Okay. Because the next part of the question has a story behind it. We're going back into George's Backman James-ish sort of territory with this type of storytelling.
Right,
But-
can I at least tell this one?
Yes, you can. Also, whatever happened to that kit-bashed, unrebuilt NBRC cast? Oh, I wonder. I really do, Stuart.
Yeah.
Ow.
I'd like to know.
What a question to end on, eh? Tell us a story, Stuart.
Mm.
Okay. Well, the one that you're referring to, insert the image of the horrible thing and then you have some creepy music.
Wow.
Okay, fine then. Actually, it's probably better for me. There's a video, actually, that you could link in the description.
I can't.
Oh,
I've
okay.
probably got a photo of it somewhere.
Just no longer uploaded that video.
Yes.
So, back in the days of when Auld Lang Syne wasn't Auld Lang Syne, Maud wasn't Maud. The other Maud was Maud. Now, you see, I'd got lucky on eBay one day, because I'd won a J36 kit for just under £50, which is quite good. And I built it. And I painted it. The problem is that I was using paint probably just about as old as the kit itself, because I got it for free. And yeah, it was horrible. It ran on a standard Hornby chassis. I say it ran, it didn't. It had to be pushed. Initially, I was going to use J15 to push it from behind. Wasn't powerful enough, so I had to use a Bachmann Class 105 DMU. And eventually, I got one that ran and was a lot nicer because it wasn't made by me. And then I was like, hey, now I've got this spare model. I could probably make it into the unrebuilt version. You see, I don't learn things very quickly, and so I took the model and I made it worse. I cut off most of the cab. I replaced it with a Bachmann Emily one because I had a spare one knocking about. I plopped it on and I painted it in what was not too dissimilar to NBR green. I put it on the layout, and that's when I realised that you should always model when it's light and not in the dark. And yeah, I have pictures of models side by side. No.
Oh
When he gave
dear.
me the model and asked me to fix it.
Yes. Then
Yes.
I met up with Mayo, Matt, and the one known as Neil in London, and I brought Maud Mark 1 with me. And after about an hour of laughing at me, Matt said that he could fix it.
Oh, it was great. He opened it up in Subway and everything just to have a look at
That's a weird filling to put in your sandwich.
it.
So
Yeah.
bored.
I didn't want them to do it in Subway. I didn't want them to do it even, in a private place. But I do have footage of him saying, I can fix this.
To be fair,
He
I
fixed
saw
the
it.
chassis.
I did. By finding a new one.
He didn't fix the model. So,
I
It doesn't
think
end
if
there.
I didn't tell, I think I'm going to interject with my tale in the 6 months in which I possessed that model. Placed the chassis with a Bachmann Panny one that I had lying around spare, and I thought, okay, it's now sitting at the correct height. I just need to make the tender a bit taller. I'll swap out the wheels, and I went to remove the wheels, and the sides that hold the wheels in fell apart. because they were held in with some crappy glue.
Thank you,
Who
Ravel.
could have put it together with crappy glue?
Yeah.
Indeed, I
That's
wonder.
why you won't ever see it again. Because when I got it back, I stripped the paint, I put it back together, and it still looked shit.
Didn't it nearly appear in episode 3?
It did. I'd never finished the tender, which is funnily enough the most solid thing, despite another hilarious story that I don't have time to tell. But yeah, I believe that the model is a Jonah, which is why it's in pieces, and it will be melted down into a statue of Neil. Not the man, but the engine.
You have some weird obsession with that box tank.
What a
It's only
lovely
started
way.
tonight.
But yes, this is where we're gonna leave it for the most part.
What a lovely way to end.
Yeah, what a
I feel
lovely
empty.
story. Or is it how we're gonna end? Because for this episode, maybe we are gonna try something a little bit different, seeing as we have the full cast, like of a show, something that defines the show in the forms of Matt, Haydn, and Stuart here. And as they aren't Thom-Cast regulars, let's play a bit of a game, a game that we are stealing from Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Oh no.
Oh dear.
So, Stuart, you're a fan of ad-libbing, aren't you? Making
Oh, I
stuff
love
up
it.
on-
That's all I could do. Well,
Well-
ad-libbing, maybe.
That entire story was
Improv-
ad-libbed.
Yeah, I made it up.
Well,
It's like
for this
coding.
game, ripped straight from Whose Line Is It Anyway, these three are going to act out a scenario as characters they have played in Old Lang Syne.
Oh, well, that's not fair.
And
Can I play someone else?
you're playing, who are you thinking of playing?
I'd like to go at Doggled, actually.
It's either Dugald or the Tom Baker guy who built Cedric.
Or Station Master,
Or
which I would
Station
use.
I think we'll stick with Dugald, because
Yeah.
even though George actually voices him, Stu can do a Dugald voice.
Wait, hold on! What's that? What if we get George somehow magically from Bournemouth?
No,
Oh,
Okay,
No.
fine then.
don't push
Oh.
your luck. So, you guys are going to make up a scene between Maud, Cedric, and Dugald, and at random points, I'm going to say change, and the last person who says a sentence has to change what they said.
okay.
And so,
Good.
you have to
Good
make
listen.
up a whole thing. So, situation is, Maud is annoyed at how Cedric is shunting. He therefore takes Cedric to get some proper lessons on how to shunt. However, the only engine he can find is Dugald. Take it away.
Oh, okay. This way. Come on, quickly, quick shot.
Why am I going? Why do I have to go?
Look, you're useless. You are brilliant at shunting, and I couldn't ask for a greater engine to
James.
shunt my tray. I hate you so much.
That doesn't make any sense. What?
Well, get used to it. Oi, Dugald.
Hey, Jerry!
Change.
Oh no.
Oh, hey,
yes.
you like this, pal?
Change.
Oh, I'm pregnant.
Well, that's a surprise. I didn't know engines could get pregnant. Anyway,
Good.
here's Cedric. Here's Donald from Thomas the Tank Engine. Could you
Right.
please teach him how to shunt?
Ugh, not from this wee bastard. I know how to shunt already.
Change.
I
Why do I have to learn?
Well, I think it's important for you to get a head start.
Oh, what about Holmes? Holmes teaches me really. I like Holmes. Where's Holmes? I want to
Change.
be taught by Holmes. Oh fuck, fish and chips. I like fish and chips. Where's the fish? Where's the chips? I want to go to a fish and chip shop. I'm craving fish and chips.
You
Change.
cannot eat. You are most welcome to eat all of the fish and
Change.
chips in Scotland. Waterdoon. Hello. Hello, hello. Ah, look, if it isn't Cedric on the Waterdown.
Hello. What are all these Americans doing here?
I didn't know. Should we ask them?
Sassenachs.
Change.
Oh dear.
Oh, now we're back in
Englishman.
Scotland. Thank God.
Change.
Oh. No, we are in fact in Wales.
Change.
No, Ireland, definitely Ireland. Great
Change.
Northern Railway of Ireland. No, we're in America again.
Change.
Hey, hi, Ashima, what are you doing here? Oh wait, I'm in India now. What? Wait, no, everyone's gone. I'm on my own now. Oh,
You can only be you.
Ah,
Anything else you can
you can
probably
do.
do.
Change.
Mm,
I'm
oh,
on the moon now. I'm on the moon.
Oh my gosh! Look at that! It's the Earth. How did the railway to the moon? Oh dear.
it was prophesied in the Great Railway Bradshaw Book
Change.
of 19. It wasn't prophesied at all.
Oh dear.
Change.
Oh well.
Change.
I'm back. Hello. Right.
Hello.
Okay. Chanting lessons. Yeah, sounds fun. Right, Double, take it away.
Oh, I did, I did, I did, I did, I did, I did, I did.
Change.
Well, I met a shunter. So you put your left wheel in, your left wheel out, in, out.
Shake
You
it
spin it all about.
Oh.
You do the shunter pokey and you turn your life around.
That's what it's all about.
about.
Hey!
Oh!
And that will forever be the first instance of an Auld Lang Syne musical. And probably the last instance, because God forbid that was an impressive display. That was quite fun. We should do it with more guests.
Yeah.
That actually was, yeah. So
That was... Well,
brilliant. And on that note, what a nice little fun game to end on. That's all, folks.
Good night, everyone.
Goodbye.
Enjoy the
Me, the only host present, because George, the only Thom-Cast host with 100% attendance rating. Take that, George, and all Matt Bacon. So, are you guys going to say goodbye?
No.
bye.
Bye.
You were the noblest viewers of them all.
Goodbye, everybody.
Be careful when you
Bye.
cross the road. Always look both ways before you cross the road. That's the moral of this Thom-Cast.
One day I shall come back. Yes, I shall come back.
Since when did Thom-Casts have morals?
Yes.